Yeah, I don't think Verhaeghe's getting his job back.
The Florida Panthers have won the Stanley Cup.
Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go! Go!
Puck drop. And 3, 2, 1,
Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go! Go!
All right, Panther fans, here we go. One of the final 4 games that Panthers have. We got the Wings tonight, Sabres on Saturday, and then the Rangers in Tampa back-to-back next week. Now, everything is kind of almost decided-ish. We're pretty sure Toronto's going to win the division. We're pretty sure Tampa's going to get second place. And we're pretty sure Ottawa's not going to catch us. Now, Montreal plays Ottawa tomorrow, and that could go a long way towards deciding whether or not Montreal could possibly catch Ottawa, which would really shake things up. Now, in terms of Panthers and the Lightning, it's pretty much looking like it's the Battle of Florida, Part 4, at least. In terms of this game, I still say, I've been going back and forth whether or not we should just tank, lay down, lay down. That's the same thing. You know what I'm trying to say. All I know is Samoskevich is on the top line tonight, and I don't see how Verhaeghe gets his job back. After Samo puts 2 in the net and gives it another assist to Barkov, who puts 1 in the net finally. Samo's going to assist on Barkov's 20th goal, is what I'm trying to say. How does Verhaeghe get his job back? Bubba's in net. Mikkola, Jones, Forsling. Who's the other guy? Is it Schmidt? I guess it would be Schmidt. Kulikov isn't playing yet. The bottom pair is Megna and Balinskis, and I think everybody agrees that when Ekblad comes back, Megna stays, Balinskis goes off the ice. And I don't really know what to expect from this game tonight. You know the top line's going to play hard. Lundell, Lucian, and Marchand. Let's get Marchand a goal. How about that? Let's not worry about standings and playoffs and all of that. Let's get Marchand a goal. All right? And give me 2 points. All right, so 1-0 Detroit after 1. It could be 2 or 3-0. Not that Bob's had to make some tremendous saves, but we keep losing guys coming in the back door, so to speak. We're Forsling, a couple of other guys are having their back turned watching the play, and Wings players are trying to sneak into the side of the net. They just haven't been able to connect on the passes, but I have a feeling they're going to get another one here. It's not like we look bad. We just kind of look lethargic and indifferent for the most part. Say it again, this guy Megna, I'd like to see him get signed for next year. Now, I know he's 32. I know he's been back and forth between the AHL and NHL over the course of his career. I'm not saying give him the bag, but as a guy that's 60, 70, I'd like to see him just stick with the team and be available. I don't know why we kept messing around with Bornfoot when we got this. He's solid. He's out there killing penalties in Kulikov's spot, and he's good. He's good. So we're in luck there. All right, let's move on to the second period. So it's 3-1 Panthers after 2. We scored 3 goals. We scored 3 goals in regulation. Interestingly, it happens on the first night that Verhaeghe's sitting. I'm not blaming him. Don't worry. It's not Verhaeghe's fault. Mackie Samoskevich, however, holy moly, what a goal. He gets the puck in between the circles, does the whole spinorama, did some jumping jacks. I think he went down and did some push-ups and then just bulleted the puck right into the net. That kid, he's 2 goals away from tying Verhaeghe with a lot less money. Now, look, I know Verhaeghe's going to do his thing during the playoffs. That's fine. That's good. But it's nice to have a kid that's got some energy. And what else did we see? Brad Marchand, right? So what did I say in the pregame? I said Marchand a goal and Samoskevich gets 2. So we just need 1 more from Samoskevich. So Marchand almost had, well, he did have a chance, and he wasn't able to make good on it. And then the puck came out, and Forsling dives to save the puck. Marchand gets it back with a nice move, and it's 3-1. We scored 3 goals in a game. Now, I don't know if that's legal or not. We're likely to get fined by the league, but for purposes of tonight, since it was Marchand, we'll take it. All right, now, just everybody stay nice and cool. We're doing that thing. We're playing well on defense. We have been playing well on defense. Even a couple of those games, the last games that we lost, we only allowed 2 goals in regulation. So defense is starting to tighten up. Offense, some of these guys, right? Luciano got a goal the other day. Rodriguez got a goal. Verhaeghe got a goal. Marchand got a goal. Now all we need to do is Boquist has Verhaeghe-itis. If you haven't been paying close enough attention because he hasn't scored since January 25th, now that Verhaeghe is off the ice and Boquist is getting some chances, he has Verhaeghe-itis. It's the same thing. It's some kind of fungus must be going through the locker room. Finish this up and get 2. I don't know if I can count this high. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 points. The last time we scored 4 goals in regulation, I had a full head of hair. Holy crap, we actually scored 4. Marchand got his first one. Samoskevich did not get 2, though, so that's disappointing. I still say Verhaeghe shouldn't get his job back. So I've been saying the lineup should be Barkov, Reinhart, Verhaeghe, Bennett, Tkachuk, Samoskevich. I don't know. Put Samoskevich up top. Although we're playing Tampa. That's a big ask. Either way, we look good. I know Detroit came in, with only like the sliver of hope, and you could kind of see that once we got the lead, they kind of laid down and like, yeah, they're toast. Montreal and Ottawa, they just took what was going to be a crazy run to the finish for the wild card, and they just kept winning and just took care of everybody else. That's the way you do it. So, what we see on the ice, the Barkov, Reinhart, Samoskevich line, much like when we say the Barkov, Tkachuk, Samoskevich line. I wonder what the common denominator there is. I wish Bill Zito would keep his first-round draft picks. I keep saying this, but he's only used first-round draft picks on 2 players, Lundell and Samoskevich. Can you imagine the kind of team we could end up with if you would just stop trading them away and use them? So there's that. The second line, which is really our third line, Lundell, Luciano, and Marchand, it could not be more of a perfect fit. Watching Marchand get those 2 Finns to actually skate and play offense a little bit, trying to set them up with assists, with him making the assists and everything, that's going to come in so handy in the playoffs. And I know it's a pipe dream to think that Marchand would stay, but damn, imagine a whole full year with those 3. That limits Marchand's ice time. He'll have plenty, and they all kill penalties. You could just send out the third line to be the PK. I'm just saying, maybe it can happen. Now, the rest of the lineup was basically both of our fourth lines, right? You had Sturm Rodriguez with Boquist, who has Verhaeghe-itis. He's even falling on the ice now. And then Nosek with Greer and Gadjevich. Nosek has looked better, but of course he's not a young guy, and so he's got fresher legs from being off of the ice for a while. And I suspect that once we're healthy and in the playoffs, that you're going to see maybe a night-to-night switching of guys. If anybody gets tired, if anybody gets, dinged up, if we're playing Tampa in the first round, you send Sturm with Rodriguez and Boquist out there as your fourth line. If anybody gets dinged or if they just exert a tremendous amount of energy and they're tired, the next game we got a whole ass other fourth line of Nosek, Wood, Greer, and Gadjevich. So we've got the depth. We might not have Stenlund, Lorenz, and Okposo, but we do have depth. And we're going to need that, especially playing the Lightning in the first round. Now, defensively, I believe it was 6 assists. It was either 5 or 6 assists that the defense had. Forsling had two. Balinskis had two. They were very, very active. And the one thing I'm hoping is that when Ekblad comes back, that Forsling continues to do what he's been doing, which is offense, right? I mean, he is just really, really coming into his own in terms of taking shots and driving offense. You'll love to see it. He's got 11 goals. He doesn't even pay. He's got no power play goals. If he was a regular contributor to the power play, he'd probably have 15 to 20 goals. So hopefully when Ekblad comes back, how bad can it be? I mean, he's still pushing offense with Schmidt on the top line. So I would suspect that with Ekblad, can't be any worse. Again, Magna Balinskis, solid on the bottom pair. Jones and Mikula. Jones has been fine with Mikula. That's where he belongs. He's a very, very expensive second pair defenseman. Every time I say that, all I can think of is there's no way they brought in Jones and going to pay Ekblad. So we could end up in a situation where they give Ekblad like this massive pay cut. I'm imagining things now. But what if Ekblad decided he would take $3 million or $4 million to stay, but he stays with Forsling, and you would end up with Jones on the second line, second pair, getting paid almost double what Ekblad does. It could happen. Weirder things have happened. And with Magna, like I said, if we could get him as one of the depth guys, because, you know, Kulikov's 34 now. He signed that contract at $1 million apiece, but only, you never know how many years he's going to continue to play and play at a high level the way he's been. So we're covered there. And then, of course, Bubba. We'll give Bubba some head scratchies, right? He let the first goal in. You can do that anytime you want, Bubba. You want to let a goal in early and then don't allow any other goals the rest of the game, we'll take it. So, and then Paul Maurice became number 3 on the all-time coaches wins list at 915. So he's creeping up there. I believe it was Trotz that he passed. He was tied at 914. All right, that's going to do it for today. I will be live tomorrow at noon. And then we're obviously streaming Saturday against the Sabres. Don't know what that lineup's going to look like. Now, the way this is working is it's nice that we won, but if Tampa wins their next 2 games, we automatically cannot get second place. So if Tampa wins their next 2 games, the games against the Rangers and the Lightning are most likely going to be completely useless unless for some strange reason that we would need points to keep Ottawa from passing us. But other than that, if Tampa wins those 2 games, we're going to be starting on the road in Tampa. It's not like it's a long trip. I know they play well at home, but Florida, Tampa, I think you throw out home and away. I really do think, you know what I mean? Neither one of those teams is going to, oh my gosh, we're going to lose a game because we're on the road, right? It's just going to be a very, very even, solid series. And I will have series previews out for all of the matchups. And I'm pretty sure that over on the other channel, Puck Blockers, Paul and I will probably do some series previews. We might try to enlist some help over there with Nick from Twisted Wrister. I got to get a hold of him. And at some point, we will have a low-quality Bruins fan on that channel as well. Links are in the descriptions. That's it. We got 3 left. We might only play 1 more game that even matters at all. Of course, the Sabres are playing well, so you never know how that's going to go. I feel better than I did about this team 2 weeks ago. The biggest question, the last big question, is going to be exactly what is Matthew Tkachuk going to be game 1. He's not out there hardcore practicing yet. The team has just been so quiet about it, and I just can't tell if they're quiet about it because they don't know if he's coming back, or if they've been quiet about it because they already have known he's coming back because he really wasn't as hurt as they made him out to be, but they needed room for Jones because they knew Ekblad was going to get suspended. You follow that? All right, 2 points. I see you tomorrow at noon.